Hello, my name is John Didi, professor of political science at the community colleges of Baltimore County. Today, I am interviewing a candidate for County Executive Julian Jones from Baltimore County. Welcome.
Thank you so much, John. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to be here.
Glad to do it. My first question is, why are you running for Baltimore County Executive?
Well, John, I have a long history of public service. I've done 32 years in the fire department, and I've been on the county council for 11 years. And right now, we are facing some very challenging times. I mean, we have been shorted basically 13, $14 million from the federal government in terms of our schools. We've been hit with additional money that we have to pay from the state because of their deficit. So we are in some very challenging times, and it's going to take some serious leadership to lead us during these times. And having been here for 11 years, been chairman for 4, knowing as much about Baltimore County as anyone, I feel like there's no one more qualified right now to do this job than me, to lead us to a more prosperous place.
First question I'll ask is this. One of the big issues nationally that's going on with a lot of Democrats, especially in New York City, is the issue of housing. Everyone's talking about housing, what to do about it, affordable housing, where to put housing, et cetera. What would be your housing plan if elected Baltimore County Executive?
Well, John, thank you for the question. Having been on the council for 11 years and chairman for 4, I have a track record of promoting more affordable home ownership for people here in Baltimore County. I fought consistently to increase housing in Baltimore County because a lot of people don't know this, but we've had a decline in population 3 of the last 4 years. So what are the things I would do? First of all, I would continue to fight for policies that make it more affordable for people to purchase homes right here in Baltimore County. 2, it has to be serious leadership in Baltimore County. We need to be one Baltimore County, one team. Not, I've seen administrations take 1 step up and 2 steps back. On 1 minute, you want to increase housing. The next minute, you are adding impact fees. 1 minute, you want to increase housing. The next minute, you're putting barriers where people can't build at certain places. So I think it's important that we focus on what our challenges are and have serious leadership to lead us all in the same direction.
One of the issues you brought up was the decline of population in Baltimore County. What would be the Julian Jones Economic Development Program for Baltimore County if elected to office?
Okay, thank you so much. Number one, I want to make sure that we as a government are doing everything in our power to grow our economy and give people opportunities right here in Baltimore County. That means doing more in terms of helping people purchase homes right here in Baltimore County and doing more in terms of giving people opportunities to build homes right here in Baltimore County that can be affordable for our residents. The other thing that we can do in terms of growing our economy, I like to equate this to the difference between fishing and hunting. Right now, our economic development arm is basically fishermen. They sit here, they wait for people to show up. I would like to assemble a team and send them out in the world. Let's call them the hunters and go out, going after different industry, going after different companies, letting them know the tremendous opportunities we have right here in Baltimore County. I think we have tremendous opportunities in terms of where we are, whether it be hospitals, universities, Trade Point Atlantic, the pier, the port, I should say. So we have a lot of things going for us. We just need to go out there and let people know that they need to come to Baltimore County and that we are open for business and ready, willing, and able to work with them so that they can grow their companies and the employees can have a nice place to live right here in Baltimore County.
What is your plan to try to change the culture of county government for one that is kind of people feel like it operates in secrecy, especially with the situation regarding the reapportionment, gerrymandering, even the Madigan situation, and basically get rid of the attitude of the insider privilege to one of where there is more transparency in county government, fairness, and accountability?
Well, I have worked as long as I've been here to make sure that we are open and transparent. And I have always welcomed people to come to the county council and speak. But as it relates on a bigger scale, we have to make sure that everything we do is as transparent as possible and invite the public in to look under the hood and see what's going on. I voted against the redistricting plan that came out because basically I was against the process and I didn't support the process and I did not support the product. I had a problem when a map was created in the back room deal with no public input, no public knowledge. I had a problem when the citizens voted to expand the council and never knew that there was a map in the background that was going to become law and 30 days later. I had a problem when the map was introduced, giving the public just 5 hours to evaluate it and testify. So I know that we can do a lot better. But it has to be, we have to be intentional. We have to be intentional about making sure that the processes and the things we are doing are open and transparent so that the people can feel good about what we're doing here in Baltimore County.
One of the big economic engines in Baltimore County is CCBC, the Community Colleges of Baltimore County. What would be your commitment towards CCBC if elected Baltimore County executive?
Well, thank you. That is an excellent question because I can tell you, I do not believe there is any greater value to our citizens in terms of being educated and getting a good career than CCBC. And I have always been a supporter. I know that CCBC has 120 degree and certificate programs. And that is why I worked so hard to establish the College Promise Program to give every student in Baltimore County who graduates high school an opportunity to go to the community college for free and be able to fulfill their destiny and not have that hindered or hampered by their parents' income. So I will continue to be a big supporter of CCBC because I am confident that the citizens that can go there, they get better jobs, they get careers, and most of them will stay right here in Baltimore County. Because the age of those students, by the way, are much higher than a regular college. A lot of returning adults go to CCBC.
My next question also centers on education in a different aspect, the blueprint, which for a lot of people in different counties see it as an economic albatross on them. There is a lot of spending involved in this. A lot of it is going back as far as where the counties have to deal with the spending. If you become county executive, how do you balance all this increase in spending with the blueprint to what basically your budget dollars will allow you to do? And
Well,
would you like to see the state make any changes to it?
absolutely. Number one, any plan, having been a fire chief, any plan you have to make adjustments when the conditions change. And right now, the conditions have changed from when that was studied and when it was implemented. So you have to make changes. Here in Baltimore County, I will continue to be committed to funding our schools at the highest levels that we can. We currently get 52 cents on every tax dollar to our school. But as it relates to the blueprint, what's needed coming out of Annapolis, we need more flexibility. We need Annapolis needs to reevaluate the timing, the the implementation on every step, given the financial situation we're in. And then number two, we need flexibility so that even though in some cases, some jurisdictions may be getting more money, when you put strings attached to that money, it causes a void someplace else. I remember reading how one jurisdiction used to get so much money, they applied it to transportation. Now they're going to get more money, but the money has strings attached that excludes transportation. So they have that void. How are they going to take care of getting the kids to school? So it has to be more flexible.
What concrete hiring and contracting reforms would you implement to make the county jobs and contracts that are awarded more fair and transparent? Baltimore County has this rich history going back to the Agnew days of basically deal making, et cetera. And some of the deal making ended up having people go to jail, et cetera. What would you do to basically improve that type of transparency to where voters feel trust?
Well, first of all, I think, and I've heard this from time to time from different contractors. Sometimes people feel like they're locked out of our system. We have a $5.2 billion budget. So we spend a lot of money with contractors. And I think it's very important that number one, we have an open and transparent system that is welcoming so that everyone who has something to offer, they can come here and compete for the jobs, compete for the contracts, compete for the services we are providing to the citizens so we can give them the very best. But two, we also have to look at a higher level and making sure that we are getting the best value for the citizens of Baltimore County. I have an example that sticks very close to me. I remember when we awarded our healthcare contract to an out-of-state company, I went ballistic because we did not appoint Care First, which is headquarters right here in Owens Mills. And then the reason I look at that, because one of the things we did not take into account, which I think is very important, when we choose a company that's located right here, those employees, that company, they pay income taxes and property taxes right here. That company provides philanthropic work right here in our community. So none of that was part of the evaluation process. We had to get away from just looking at the bottom line, because now, as I look back, hindsight's always 2020. Several years later, Care First is actually leaving Baltimore County. They're moving their headquarters. So they won't say it had anything to do with us not choosing them. I believe that. And we could have done and should have done better.
Keeping jobs in a county can be very difficult at times, especially with the situation of population loss that the county has experienced. Is there anything really a county executive can do besides finding economic programs, et cetera, to kind of bring more people into a county?
Yeah, I think number one, there's a lot of things we can do. As you mentioned, we've lost population 3 of the last 4 years. I see this as a very, very, very serious problem, because we know what happens when jurisdictions lose population. Their tax base goes down. They're left with raising taxes or cutting service. I have no intention of doing either one. So number one, as a county executive, what I can do is number one, make sure that we have one team, one Baltimore County with a mission, and everybody from every council person to everybody who works in county government knows what our mission will be. And that mission will be to grow our economy, provide additional jobs so that people can live their best life right here in Baltimore County, and do everything in our power to make sure homes are affordable, where people can afford to purchase a home here. So I've seen, for example, where we've taken one step up and 2 steps. We have an administration that says, yes, I want more housing. And then the next day they want to introduce impact fees. And everybody knows that impact fees will simply make the housing cost more. The way I look at it, if we get you in a house, you're going to pay income taxes and property taxes for as long as that house sits there. And those taxes are going to go and be used to provide the services to the citizens of Baltimore County. The other thing we can do is, like I said, make sure we have one team, one Baltimore County, one team, all of us pulling in the same direction, and make sure we don't do things that stand in the way of Baltimore County fulfilling this. Make sure we don't do anything that stands in the way of Baltimore County being as good as it can be.
Okay. Last question I'll ask is this. Baltimore County has a history of a variety of county executives. Who would really be that role model for you that you would kind of like to emulate as far as being a county executive?
Well, thank you. Well, I tell you, I've been here for about 4 county executives. starting with Kevin Kamnitz, Don Moeller, Johnny Oshesky, and now the Kathy Klossmeyer. I would love to think that, having watched all of their leadership styles and watched the things they do, that I can take a little bit of all of them. But the truth of the matter, John, I've been in the fire department for 32 years. I know what leadership is, and I know how I have demonstrated that throughout my career. I've led Maryland forces to the devastation of Katrina down in New Orleans. And I've led so many emergency incidents. I can't even think of them all for 32 years. But the point I'm making is I'm going to be my own person, but I'm certainly going to take a look at the things that they have done and try not to make some of the same mistakes and try to emulate some of the good things that they've done. But I'm certainly going to be my own person.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate you taking your time with this.
Don, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
You're welcome.